Welcome to the Employco HR podcast. I'm Rob Wilson. With me is my brother and partner, Scott.
Hello.
Jason Eisenhut, our Vice President of HR.
Hi, everyone.
Of course, we've got Jackson working the board again this month.
3-month-old dad.
Yeah, happy 3-month birthday. So thanks for joining us this month. With us this month, our special guest, the one and only Josh Loudermilk from our Employco office, who Josh oversees loss control and client relations. Welcome, Josh.
Good morning.
So we thought we'd have Josh on today to talk about loss control, OSHA, safety. So safety is especially in the workplace, safety is important. Whatever we could do to help avoid claims, and then of course Miss Shirley upstairs. It's
once there are claims,
control the cost of the claims. But welcome, Josh.
Thanks.
So OSHA, let's talk about OSHA's Safety Champion program.
Yeah, so it's a new program they just rolled out with the ultimate goal being prevention. It's a self-guided program with 3 different progressive levels to it. There's the introductory for those companies that are just starting off with their safety program, an intermediate step where companies can enhance their existing safety programs, and then the advanced, those companies that continuously demonstrate safety excellence, they can get part of the program as well. But the ultimate goal is prevention. With the new Assistant Secretary of Labor last year, he has taken more of a shift to the prevention piece rather than the compliance-based
punitive.
Yeah, so you've seen a change in this administration from the last. It was you're seeing more fines. Is this? I mean, obviously prevention's more pro-business. You want to reduce the workplace injuries.
Yeah, I think we'll still see some fines coming out, but it's more of a prevention-based, proactive approach.
Thought I saw something that we're trying to meet employers where they are instead of just being punitive. The OSHA goal now is to try and help employers obviously it helps employees and employers, but help to wherever the employers are in their safety strategy or safety program, if they're one of those 3 progressive levels.
Correct. Yeah. So it takes that stigma away from the smaller companies that may not have something going yet, or it gives them an opportunity to get started and have the resources.
So within because we provide loss control to all our clients, several hundred clients across the entire country, and you're out seeing clients all the time, Josh. And outside of that group, if you're a small employer and if you're interested in this program, is it pretty easy to roll it out?
It is. I mean, the initial step is getting the management and leadership buy-in. So it's got to be a culture change for the organization. They have to make safety a priority, and, they got to provide the backing. It's not going to be free. It's going to take commitment, whether that's hours for teams to get together and talk things through. But it really needs that management buy-in and the leadership behind it.
I've found a link to the OSHA website, the Champions website, and you first start by entering your information, like your first name, last name, company, title, phone number, email address, and then you push send. And I'm like, why do I push send? I thought once I do it, I could start launching right into the interactive safety program builder. But it's good. So it's basically you get a pretty quick email back. Did this today. So 10 minutes later, I got an email from OSHA back saying, within the next few weeks, you're going to get an email back from OSHA for an invitation for you to join the interactive call for you to learn more about the next steps. So it's not like you can just jump right in and start building it. It's basically a tutorial, and then it kind of eases you into the program.
Yeah, they're going to guide you through it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm always amazed at the amount of people or businesses that have no idea what OSHA is, so you have to file an OSHA 300 log and you have to post it every year. So many times we're out with our sales team and meeting a prospect, and you start asking about workers' comp claims and lost work days, and they have,
what's OSHA 300?
Right.
It's so scary.
What is that? It's only a federal law that you have to post it.
Right.
But then we've run into the same thing with small businesses that had no idea what an I-9 is.
Yeah, right.
How do you not? But then, you didn't get into business to figure out about, you've got a product or service that you're selling and outsource it to companies like Employco.
Yeah, especially if you're blue collar, great collar, this would be hopefully right up your alley to and from what I said, Josh, let me know what you think, but my impression is this might be okay for employers just to do on their own through the OSHA website, but I think it's still better to work with someone like you to customize it and give them kind of the read in between the lines and tailor it for their organization.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, every company is different. So just having a safety program in place is very important, whether that's a preschool to a manufacturing. I mean, you got to get that safety program in place. There needs to be accountability without retaliation.
Yeah.
There needs to be clear lines of communication. So definitely a starting point for a lot of these companies that don't have anything. And really, every company needs to have a safety program.
And it's better to be ahead of it.
Absolutely.
Because once something bad happens and OSHA comes in, they're going to be like,
Absolutely.
why weren't you doing it this way?
Yeah.
You don't want to be there.
And it's not just a safety program. You should really think through as a business, start to finish, how do I prevent it? And then if it does happen, you want to learn from that. And how can I make sure it doesn't happen again? And when it does happen, if it's a legitimate claim, the goal is get medical treatment to the employee so the person can get back to work. And inform whoever you're working with from a workers' comp, whether it's a company like us or your workers' comp carrier, that they can get out in front of it. We just working on an issue where someone had a claim a year and a half ago and never told anybody. And now it's tough to fight something that's a year and a half old.
And that's something that's not going to go away. That's
Right.
It's going to come to a head and it's going to be bad.
Earlier today, I was looking at data so according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, the U.S. has had a slight decline in the number of injuries and illnesses, non-fatal, non-significant. But the OSHA data, which deals with some of the more significant, that's kind of leveled off. So although we haven't seen any major spikes since maybe COVID or 2018, it's not like we're seeing dramatic decreases in injuries. And I think this is still a really important thing for all organizations to look at and put safety as a priority.
It has a ripple effect across your organization. So when you think about the more accidents you have, the more workers' comp claims you have, the higher, we all started with an experience rate of 1.0. So we all start even, and the more claims you have, the frequency, it's not just the severity, but the frequency of them raises your rates up. So from a business standpoint, safety, you need to take it seriously, especially if you're in manufacturing or blue collar industries.
Absolutely. A small investment now can save you a ton down the road.
We were working with a company on our outside of Employco. We also own an insurance organization working with a white collar organization. And you don't think you have workers' comp claims there? Well, a woman was moving files in a file cabinet, and unfortunately, she took all the files out of the bottom drawers instead of the top drawers. And next thing you know, it fell over on her. Wow. And one injury, and it affected their experience mod tremendously because your clerical class code, you're not expected to have claims like that.
Right.
And there's always like the back, like lifting a paper, box paper. Like I do that. I mean, everyone has some risk, even if you're an office employee.
Absolutely. Just walking in and out of a building and slip and fall.
Yeah.
Hazards.
Proper lifting. So Josh, you're out on the trade show floor quite a bit. So we've got a lot of clients in the trade show space, and there it's organized chaos out on the floor. It's always pretty, it's interesting environment to be at. And there, your big exposures are lifting, falling, ladder protection, falling off a ladder. But even now and then you see people tripping over electric cords. And so you see such a wide variety of, do you have a most common on the trade show floor?
Slip, trip, and falls. I mean, that's across the industry. Whether that's, falling from a ladder, slipping on wet floor, tripping over an electric cord, or carpeting. With the trade show business, it's a hustle and bustle to get everything in. Most people see it as a show is all already set up, but to see it actually coming together and being broken apart, it's amazing.
So a couple years ago, we're out with, and this varies by convention center. So some convention centers now, they allow the the exhibitor, if you have a certain size booth, you could set up your booth. And even if it's a bigger booth, you can be involved. In other cities, it's all union labor. You can't do anything. So I had our loss control rep from our insurance company out and taken him. His head is, as a loss control rep, is spinning.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
He's like, who works for your, who's with your client? Like, there's, 100 different companies out working at a trade show floor. So we get to client's booth and he looks over. All right, so who's the guy standing backwards on a ladder with sandals on?
Not good.
And it was an exhibitor, and the exhibitor was saying, borrowed our client's ladder and said, hey, can I? So then you run into a tough spot, the client does, because if they say no, but then at the same time, if they say yes, I mean, you fall off the ladder. He's going to have a workers' comp claim with his own company, but at the same time, he's going to he's got a liability claim against you because it was your ladder.
Wow.
Granted, he was standing backwards wearing sandals with like a drill.
Yeah, Burke's on a ladder.
So it's definitely an interesting environment on the trade shows because you never know what you're going to see with but and a lot of the buildings are taking it a lot more serious.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of increase in
Security,
security and safety walks. A lot of the large companies, they've got their safety guys out there all day on the floor.
Taking pictures?
Taking pictures. The nice part about the industry is, if you see something, say something, right? If you see someone up, straddling a 24-foot ladder or standing on the very top rung, reaching over, say something. It doesn't matter if they're your person or somebody else's. It's
We all want to go home at night
exactly
uninjured.
There's nothing worth, becoming crippled from falling from a 24-foot ladder.
Yeah, that's not exactly a short fall.
No.
Gravity always wins.
It does.
Are slips, trips, and falls the most common even outside the trade show industry? Okay,
Yep.
From what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and OSHA ranks that as well by the type of injuries.
Right.
Most common across the all workplaces.
Yeah, but it encompasses a lot too, whether that's a wet floor, whether it's falling from a ladder, tripping over electric cords. I mean, it is a big category, but yeah, it's been the leader for forever.
So Jackson, don't trip over the electric cords or the mic cords in the studio. So anything else we're missing on loss control?
Any contact Josh if they want to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so they can reach out. They can go to OSHA.gov and get more information on the Safety Champions program. That'll take them through, the 7 steps of building a successful.
It looks kind of from a distance, looking at your sheet. It kind of looks like the food pyramid.
Yeah.
So does hierarchy.
And
it's
Yeah. And then, reach out to me with any questions. J Loudermilk, JLOUDERMILK at Employco.com. Happy to help.
And if you get the spelling wrong, if you go to send it to info@employco.com, or HR at employco.com.
We'll go to Josh. Yep.
It'll go to Jackson or Jason or someone. And
yep.
But happy to help any businesses if you have questions on loss control or OSHA. It's and if you're not doing an OSHA 300 log, you should have it should be posted right now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Shirley has, set those out to our clients. And whenever I'm going out to the clients, I'm looking for them to make sure they're posted.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the nice things about being a client of Employco is we handle, included in our fees, there's no additional cost for it to have Josh come out and take a look at and do a loss control visit or the OSHA 300 logs. So it's all included in all of our clients' services already.
Absolutely.
Jason, how are things in the HR world?
Good.
Have you seen any trends or headaches?
Recruiting is still, I think it's kind of what we're seeing is employers and employees are kind of a wait and see mode right now. Not a lot of employers are reducing or hiring, and a lot of employees are jumping ship. So it's kind of calm, but to find employees, it is difficult right now if you do want to recruit for a new position.
Yeah, I was with a group of CEOs a week ago, and they were in the sentiment of the economy tends to be they're pretty bullish on 2026 but then when you look at the media, a lot of employees or average Americans are still saying, well,
what's going to happen?
And then they want to look for a job, or they don't want to look for a job, or they don't have any money because of the economy in their eyes is poor. But then when you look at like gas prices, they're lower than they've been in 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
But there's still some prices up, but the cost of living is up. But I think with the sentiment with inflation down, interest rates are coming down. The CEOs are bullish, but I think that they're also, we were just talking in one of our episodes about AI. I think you're seeing that effect on larger businesses,
Right.
The Amazons of the world, but on small business employee, that kind of 10 to 60, 70 employees, it might be helping you, but you're not eliminating jobs with AI at this point where you are in the Amazons of the world.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to buy a robot. Even though,
Yeah.
although Elon Musk has switched over 2 of the Tesla lines to robot manufacturing, but
I was at a friend's manufacturing plant a few weeks ago, and he's got a dozen robots, and it's, the long run, it does reduce your costs. It takes a few years to pay for the robots, but it was pretty interesting seeing it in action when it's something that is so repetitive, and one, he has someone at the end of a line, and her job was to pick up a box as it comes off the line and turn and put it on a pallet. That's all she does all day. You go to another line and he's got a robot doing that, and it's picking up 8 boxes.
yeah. So it was Kia that bought Boston Dynamics. They used to do the military robots, and now they just do all manufacturing, and it's crazy. They had them at CES, and it's amazing what they can do.
And then the workers' comp claim. I mean, so I saw something just the other day. The number of significant injuries at some of these larger manufacturing are dropping a little bit because robots are doing the heavy lifting or the repetitive tasks, carpal tunnel or back injuries and stuff like that. So maybe that's why we're not seeing a spike. It's kind of leveling off. Maybe some of the robot on the factory lines or manufacturing lines is making a difference.
Yes, when you look at heavy lifting, we see it with clients, the lifting aspect. You end up with a lower back claim.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes expensive,
And that can linger on for years.
right? So then you're not just looking at the temporary total disability, which is your wages while you're off. You're looking at the medical, and then you're looking at the permanency. It becomes expensive. You don't have permanency with a robot.
Or health insurance or HR issues. I mean, I guess you could have HR issues.
Maybe HR issues.
If the robot doesn't listen to you.
Harassment.
Well, we appreciate everybody listening to us. If you have questions, comments, if you need any help on the HR side, feel free to reach out to Jason and the team, Josh on Loss Control, HR@employco.com. Happy to help anytime.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you coming on.